Alright, this is our second cutting edge on the K390 Delica this time. So second cutting edge meaning actually my first one, but the second one after the factory edge. Oh, let's redo that whole thing. Alright, this is my first cutting edge on this K390 Delica. Last time we tested the factory edge, we only got about 240 cuts, which was very bad in comparison to other PM steels in that same class. And this time I sharpened this on coarse DMT diamond and on this 400 grit Naniva wet diamond stone. You can use this stone both dry, which is a little bit coarser, and then you can use it wet if you want to use it finer. And I did both, so we have coarse and fine sharpening on this, and then I put it on leather. No fine stone, not really fine stone, so this is a relatively toothy edge with a slight bit of polish on the from the strop. Current condition that this one is in. So yeah, we have a hair popping sharp cutting edge, very bitey at the moment because it hasn't been sharpened on a super fine stone. Well, yeah, let's see how this does, and hopefully K390 performs a little bit better now. Alright, the result is 390 cuts on this K390, which is certainly a good number. Has probably been the best test so far on this particular rope, and as you can see, it's an insane amount of rope. So the edge retention on these steels is crazy, pretty insane. My finger hurts really bad from all the blisters after these cutting tests, and yeah, this knife is obviously far from being dull. It's just not reliably slicing through paper in one particular spot, but you can get so much edge retention out of this knife. Now, 390 cuts, crazy number, but Rex 45 on its factory edge did like 340, which is not that much less, to be honest. I feel like K390 can do way more.
Now, as for my second cutting edge, I sharpened on a KME diamond sharpening system. Started off with 140 grit, moved to 300, 600, 1500 grit. Then I went on a fine ceramic to help with burr removal, and then on leather. The edge angle is between an 18 and 16 degree edge, so let's say it's about a 17 degree edge angle here. As you can see, it's a pretty wide, ugly bevel. Not the best looking cutting edge in my opinion, but needless to say, it is very, 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 very sharp. Let's see how long it cuts.
.550 550 cuts, K390 over and out.